we do have enough time. I could now go to the desert if I wanted to really, you know, mid-max what I'm doing on these days and do some of the desert.
Light? How did you know he was gonna do that?
There's his weapon.
I was sure.
But, shall I do that? Yeah, let's do that. So, I've got the desert opened up. You would normally have to do a ton of transporting on the trains. Which is literally go to the South Station in Luxurian and then go to the Dead Dunes. But because I have teleport, I can use this. And you will have teleport too, because you're in New Game Plus. If you're in New Game, the only thing that this guide's going to help you do is appreciate the battling a little bit, understand the combat, and know where things are to pick up on the main quests. Everything else, it's probably not going to help you with. So, this is the Dead Dunes. This has one of my favourite aspects of the game. It is the ability to slide. This is one of my least favourite aspects of the game, how it tells me all the fucking things I can walk to. Shut up. And then we need to hit this captor statue as soon as possible. Just to set it off, so we can walk back. And then from now on, we're going to run through this place, and we're going to activate some of the cactus statues, which is going to make moving through the desert when we come here to do it for real significantly quicker. That is the Sahagin. We do not want to fight him because he will kill the frame rate. That is the only thing he will kill, but it's enough to piss me off. So stay away, you bitch. You're also going to be needing these items called, I think they're called like cruxes. That essentially they pacify storms, and we're going to need those to get into a village later on. What is that? Is that a... Ooh, he's what we want. This guy here will give you good EP when you kill it, if you can kill it. If you can't kill it, you need to learn to kill it. So, all I do is I hit him with all the status effects, hit him with some wind, and then hit him with this, and it usually gets him tenderized. Hit him with some more D-protects. Nice. But it doesn't matter because we're so strong that he's having trouble.
No looking back.
So you'll notice he only gives me 1 EP, but the cool thing is it's enough to keep perpetuating the chronostasis, which is what we want. So you want to touch this. Very nice. And you see that thing bobbing up and down? That is an item that is not the crocs what we need. There's a ton of those croxes, but you can buy them. The village that we're going towards is there. So you need to bear that in mind. Don't even bother with them enemies. God, they're so stupid. They're essentially those cat fur balls, but now they've got horns. Because that's a much better design to the original design. I think we can all agree. There's another warp. Also, you're going to find lizards around here, and if you attack them with your sword, you can pick up items off them, which are the tails, and they will go towards a ton of quests on the Canvas of Prayer board, which I didn't realise at first. I just thought they were chilling out. So that's the crux that we need to open to get to the village. But I think that one is linked to a side quest, so what we're going to do is we're going to go around this way. And it might seem like a giant waste of time what I'm doing, but it's going to make it smoother when we come back. So I'd rather do it on a day where we've got nothing really worth doing than on a day where we could be doing things. So do you see that glowing thing ahead? That's one of the animals that you can hit and steal its tail. And this is what we need to get past that thing. So we're going to pick this up for later. And then we're going to continue around to the Atomos Sand, which he's been in previous Final Fantasies, and I believe he was in Final Fantasy XIII. There's another Sahagin. Avoid them at all costs. They literally put it down to single-digit frame rates. It's horrific. Especially if they start going under the ground and knocking up a ton of particle effects. So badly done. There is the dry floodlands. And we are now out of chronostasis, so hopefully we'll get another one of the enemies that can give us some back to allow us to keep doing this a little longer. That is just one of the dogs. The dogs are shit, they gave you barely anything. And we're going to be heading towards a giant circle. So if you've seen the video that I put up about farming experience, farming guild, sorry, that's the lighthouse that you do it under. Oh, do you see that? Wow. No, don't want you. Where are we on the map? Miles away, because this is a really wide expanse of desert. Luckily enough, there are shops everywhere just in case you need them. And I've just knocked me stamina. But it's cool because we get to slide.
You'll be able to rest up there. But it seems like it's the bandits' base. They may not exactly welcome a stranger
So,
like you.
Hope bigs this area. Oh, there's a crux just there.
I don't think I'll need
Hope bigs this area up like it's going to be this super mean place. And it turns out that the bandits are just as nice as any other town you've ever visited. There's no threat of anything. I thought it was going to be like Gerudo Valley, where you have to sneak in and you do some novelty stealth sections with some fantastic music.
We'll meet face to face soon enough.
I'm not entirely sure why I was skidding them, but I did enjoy it.
Bandit settlement is just over there.
Oh, that's not a crux, that's just an item.
Had to take quite the long way around, haven't you?
Ooh, that person there, I cannot kill. You might be wondering why. I can't stagger him. If I could stagger him, I could kill him, but he's got like 10 million life. It's ridiculous, and he's a standard enemy. Such a douchebag.
It does look rather old, but it's
And he's chasing me, which is awesome. But he's got a wicked defense, and the only way to get through it is to stagger him, and his stagger goes down just as quick as Area Knight's does. And if you've ever fought Area Knight, who is the hardest boss on the game, it'll make you wonder why that fucking Earth Eater's such a douche. Because it makes me wonder. But now that we've done that, we'll go into the town and we'll join the bandits. Spoiler alert, we'll be getting Fang in our party. Which is kind of trivial and worthless, but I suppose it's a nice little hark back to people who played the game. And then once we've done that, I suppose we might as well go towards the dungeon. But I might be getting ahead of ourselves because we have to do something for a guy called like Adonis or something. Adonis, I don't know his name. That is how you upgrade accessories. It's a little bit badly explained. There's an achievement for upgrading 30 accessories, and it literally means getting 30 versions of equipment you already own, which is kind of a stupid idea, I think. I would much have preferred it if you could just upgrade it at a shop,
You're nearly to the settlement now.
but I didn't design the game.
I'm sure you're looking forward to a
So.
bit of rest. But I wouldn't let your guard down if I were you. I would guess that
There was something in that shop then, wasn't there? I wonder what it is.
If I wake up at knife point, is that it?
Oh, Bacti's oil. That is a little robot that the game tries to anthropomorphize, which is an interesting little conceit. It doesn't really pull on my heartstrings because that robot actually has more personality than any of the fucking people in this game. Which, there's an irony there, and I do enjoy it.
It looks like there might not.
You ready to?
Yes.
Oh,
I have to go and kill something I already enjoy killing, because it's the thing that gives us a ton of EP.
Make it stop.
Make it stop.
But the thing that sucks is, you can't go back through the village to get to it, you have to warp out and go around. So it's a little bit longer than it needed to be. And I've gone the wrong way.
And somehow use that monument to stop God's wrath.
So we go to near God's Wrath. I think there's a little clue there with Hope saying, God's Wrath. I can't believe how quick I killed Chaos compared to normal. That dude kicked my ass, and he was really, really hard, and I just made him look like a joke, and he's not.
The way was completely blocked by that sandstorm. You should be able to get through once the winds
Is this leading where I need it to go? Yeah.
die down.
See, it's things like this that I'm not confident on, because it's only mine. So, you come here, and it triggers this, which we're skipping, and then the monster's going to be there, and it's just that monster with a shell on it. It's called like a Gengan
I'm
thing.
ready.
One of them. And this guy is really, really useful because he's very simple to beat. I didn't have enough to do the next hit, that's sad. Let's go. Yeah.
You want to be saved. Thanks for waiting.
There we go. Oh! I'm sorry, did we tear your asshole? I know you wanted a little session of heavy petting, but we just got straight to the good stuff. And here's the thing we've already been picking up in the desert, yet she's suddenly marvelled by it.
Light.
That... Oh, I can't skip this.
It looks
What?
like Adonis went.
And then we get to surf down this hill.
The bandit gang was watching.
We do that to give us a little bit more time on this first day, or the second day
Seems like
technically.
they were just waiting for the right time to talk to you. So the leader of the Monoculus gang saw through to your
Pull out some of those 1080 snowboarding tricks.
Looks like you might still have some challenges ahead of you, like.
I'm surprised if many people get that reference. That game was really hard as well. But we're going to run back to Adonis, he's going to introduce us to Fang, and then Fang is going to want to take us to the dungeon we're going to be in. And the next dungeon ruined the Dead Dunes for me, because it went from being this interesting desert place with some decent quests to here's a massively confusing labyrinthine copy-paste bullshit piece of dog shit dungeon that lasts entirely too long and is filled with nothing but fetch quests and no fun. But I'm going to show you how to do it really quickly, so if you're struggling, I'll show you a really good path through it, which is awesome, because it sucks major cock. There's Fang.
So the boss turned out.
Interesting, I didn't realise you got a fancy tune for having Fang in your party.
Erbayun Fang. You once
Yes,
fought
very
alongside
nice.
her many
I
years
can't skip
ago.
this.
You do realize that you did too, right? Yet you sure make it sound like it has nothing to do with
Wasn't Yerba a place
Well, yes, we
in
did fight
13-2? Wasn't it the place that was all jacked up and sandy? That had one of those secret bosses in it. Could be wrong, it's been a while since I played that game. So, we're going to walk to the north gate, because it's the closest to where we need to be. And then we're going to run directly across the sand, and we're going to try and avoid Area Knight, because he's a bastard. And on hard, he'll destroy me. He's so strong. Not even funny.
Before you head out, it may be a good idea to talk the
And the game is a massive troll, because it doesn't make it look like a huge dragon that you know you should avoid. It makes it look like this really effeminate ball of energy that's roaming around. And I bumped into him by accident because I was trying to go to a vendor. And it kept flying near the vendor, and what happens on this game is when monsters are close, the NPCs can't be communicated with, and they just run around. So, frustratedly, I thought it was just going to be an elemental ball, and I struck it with my sword, and when the battle began, it was a massive dragon. And I knew immediately that it was a super boss or something, because that's exactly why it's that way. It's to catch you out, you know. It's underwater near Midgar in the submarine and seeing the emerald weapon but not having any idea what it is and thinking, oh, I'll fly over to this weird thing. And it immediately just decimates your entire team. Or, you know, what's this thing poking out of the golden saucer's sand? I'm going to fly into it. Yeah, that's a mistake. With my level 50 party and none of the good equipment.
There's a
So?
place I want to check out first. The door. It's got something good behind it. Or I'm not a bandit. I'm thinking that maybe a safe
So the goal here is to hit one of the Cactua statues before the end of this day. Because if we do that, when we come back, we can get straight into the dungeon. And the dungeon, when you know where you're going, is really quick. When I've done it again. I need to start paying attention.
There are shortcuts back up to the surface, but most are sealed.
That could have gone badly, but it went okay.
Fang's right, you know. I'm able
So
to
this is not the guy I meant. The guy I mean is the one
but every last one
much
seems to
deeper
be
in.
blocked by some mysterious
The one that's
force.
next to the sacred gate. So anybody who's played will know the one I mean.
You had
Once
better.
again, I'll be
Why
avoiding
else do you
items,
think
guys,
I
so don't
let
get too
a
OCD
psycho
on
like you
me.
into my prestigious gang of ne'er-do-wells? Because
The
I use
mechanic in this dungeon
I took the liberty of
is
checking
that the
the
doors are all on weird, goofy timers.
Fang woke up from their crystal
And somebody
sleep
thought that that was a good idea.
years ago. It
I
appears they're
don't.
both being held at the Order's main cathedral in Luxarian.
Something that I do think is a good idea is the last concept. So, certain enemies on this world, the one I just ran past then, when you kill enough of them, you will actually make them go extinct. And the final one you kill turns into a super version of, like, the anguish of all the ones you've murdered, and it becomes an amazingly awesome version of that enemy. And when you kill it, there are no more in the world.
You can't even date them with all your technology?
And there's an achievement for, I believe, I've done it again. Not paying attention.
It's hard to believe.
For killing them all.
13 years ago, Vanilla and I were stuck in
And I haven't done it because it involves getting to the ultimate layer, and I've just got back to that place on my most recent playthrough. But I wanted to make this because a lot of people have been requesting I cover this game, and as I've mentioned before and proven several times, just because I don't like a game doesn't mean I won't cover it, because I try to approach my channel with an air of professionalism. You know, sometimes in life you've got to do things you don't personally enjoy to reap the rewards, and that's exactly what this is hopefully going to be. And it'd be great if this series blows up and, you know, gets a ton of views. I just don't see it happening, because I've been on YouTube now nearly, well, it's over 3 years now, and I kind of thought that would happen on any old video, because I've made a lot of good ones, and it just kind of hasn't. So, we soldier on anyway. This is the one I wanted to hit, so we've done really well. The next thing I want to hit, if I can, is going to be the gallery, which is going to trigger the fetch quest, because if I can trigger the fetch quest, this game is done, son. The only thing left will be the Zaz side quest, which is really stupid and really easy, minus the Cactua, because on hard for some reason the Cactua has impossible defense, and I don't know why, and I'm hoping I get it on this run so you can see what I had to put up with. But you've seen the damage I've been doing. I've been killing Chaos Ballad in it in, like, you know, 10 seconds. Null lasted just as long. Everything dies beautifully, and I do 1 damage to that Cactua. Every hit does 1 damage. It's insane. I'm gonna need that. I'm not gonna use it there because it's pointless. Could do with a fight, but unfortunately in this area, none of the enemies give you that much EP, unless you get those Gurangan Gungan things, because those dudes are awesome. These things, you'd have to kill 1,000,000 of them to even remotely do anything decent. And this room is very warm with all this technology on, so fortunately I'm getting a heat rash under my right knee, which is not cool. Luckily enough I don't weigh 300 pounds, so it's not a big thing. I can just roll the trouser leg up. Or even more romantic, I can take them off and we can get real comfy. And I've just fucked my stamina again because I'm an idiot.
On in the world, though it all seemed like some sort of hazy dream.
Oh, hang on a second. I'm jumping the gun here,
We
boys.
also saw your sister head out on her journey. Eventually, we even got to see the world fall apart.
That's the only problem with this dungeon. It's so monotonous, I just go on autopilot for it.
A good bandit always is, right?
So,
I don't want to sound
this has been a really successful day. Really successful, and it's also highlighted just how short this game is. Which is kind of funny, because everybody's losing their mind about Metal Gear Solid being only 2 hours long, but I haven't even been playing this for 2 hours, and I've nearly beaten the main quest. So, yes, I know, douche.